Let's begin recording. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the final installment of PTRU for this tier. We'll continue doing them, but we'll start looking ahead to next tier starting next week. So that'll be exciting. But for this boss, we actually barely limped into P3, last pull of our last night of raid, which is awesome. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so we just want to make sure that we're prepared for that. Basically, you know, the wisdom around this fight is that any good P3 pull could be a kill, because there's not too much to P3 and it's not super difficult to execute. But there are some things that we want to be prepared for to be able to capitalize on our P3 pulls. Before we get there, though, I do want to go over. I was watching this VOD today. This one I liked pretty well, and what they did in P3. But also, we'll just take a quick look at Platform 3 since we haven't seen that a lot, and I just want to talk about Platform 3 really quickly. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully this will play. So this platform, you can pretty much ignore the skitterers, right? They will die eventually to cleave off of the void speaker. This platform is exactly the same as main platform. So the first ad when we split up, it's got kicks on it and it has the orbs. The only difference is that we need to send 2 teams through the portals. But what I mean by the exact same is that range we want to spread out on the flanks on either side so that we are not baiting orbs down this middle line. So this is the no-fly zone on this platform. We want to ranged wants to be either out here or out here. There's no grips, so you can play on the close side to the boss if you want, no problem. So just dodge orbs, get your kicks, and then send people through the portals. This platform should be extremely simple. Let me watch that unfold here. And the boss is still casting for forever, right? And notice this you die timer. So there's really no DPS check here as well. So if you get your cooldowns in the middle of this platform, you would probably hold them until you get to the boss. You shouldn't have your cooldowns though. You should have just blown them, unless you're like a red paladin or something. I'm going to turn them down a little bit. So this last one here, when the ad dies, you actually don't need to dispel that, by the way. Let's watch that again here really quick. So this last one, if the ad's dead, healers, this is fake. You don't need to dispel this. It becomes real if you dispel it though. It explodes and there's stuff on the ground. So they do dispel it here, but they could have not and just save themselves a little bit of hassle. I've also seen groups dispel this guy once they get stacked to get knocked up. They'll just dispel on the whole group. So just be very careful about that. Just notice the HP of the mob and the timing of this. Yeah, they should have not dispelled this. It would have just fizzled. And also, if you're the person with it, you can just come and stack with the group and get knocked up. You're not going to do any damage or drop anything on them. The circle is just completely fake. Okay, so I found out she does face the same exact cardinal direction as she does in the very beginning up here. So I can actually place these markers from down on the ground, so that'll be cool. We can have that for our first pull up here and get it ready. So ranges on the rim here, we're going to be baiting swirlies. The boss is going to go to the next pillar clockwise, and they're just preparing for infest. I really like their positioning here. So Yerpul Maza, I think dropping this here, like in the corner up against the pillar, is very good to get them as stacked as possible and clean. And then what the other tank should do is just come right here on the edge, just barely. Even if the boss is somewhat close, it's still going to be fine as long as they are ring appeased. So let's just watch what they do here. So yeah, they don't move the boss a ton, right? Look at this. But this is really efficient damage. They're just pinned against there. So yeah, they die pretty quick there. Three acolytes spawn here. They're kickable. This null detonation is kickable once the shield is down. We do not have assignments for this. You can just YOLO kick those and cleave off of the boss. So Yerpal should be controlling the movement here. He should be moving it around as the shields are dying to this far one eventually over here. So you want to wait if you're assigned to the essences here. So this is War Buckus Avalard, I believe, or maybe Buckus War Avalard. I'm not sure. We can take a look at it here in a second. But either way, you want to wait to pick up the essence because you only hold it for a certain amount of time, and then you wait to go through the portal. If you can skip the ring, you should skip the ring. We have a list of people that can. So yeah, anything that can jump the ring should do it because it does quite a bit of damage. You got to dodge those orbs for sure. They're killers if you're not paying attention. And then you're just picking up the essence here. So essence people, you destabilize this portal and it starts the timer for the detonation as soon as you take it. So you basically want to wait until the raid is through before you take the portal. You want to take it last. There should be a weak aura on your screen for the raid that counts down, and if you have an essence, it counts down, but it's like a second later than the raid, so you could watch that, or you can just have your eyes on the portal and watch that as well, and that should be good enough for this detonation here. So we have assignments for this. I'll go over this again, but everybody is assigned as far as where they're going to be. You should be ahead of the group if you can skip. So you want to be out of all of this bullcrap and be over here if you can skip. Essence people, you're going to want to watch the timer on your screen because you are about to, this is hell on earth a little bit, right? This is Ohio dodging. You got orbs and blades. If you have the essence, so Buckus War and, Buckus War and Avalard, you guys are picking up, and you should be looking to drop your essence right here, kind of like mid-platform outside of blue. Right here is the idea. And that'll give us enough space for the stack on the shackles that are coming up here in a second. Notice he's got a timer for when he's going to drop his essence. There should be like a say bubble above your head as well if you're dropping your essence, but you want to be aware of where you're dropping, especially War, Buckus, Avalard. The next set isn't as critical, so if you're one of the 7, we'll go over that here in a second. Yeah, I really like the way they deal with these ads. This is just really clean. And so this is rinse repeat, right? From the very start of the phase, exact same mechanics. Ranges on the rim, melee's baiting here, and they're going to be dodging out this way when the swirls come out. Yeah, watch the swirls, and then ads are up right after the swirls. They're instantly pinned against the corner, pixel stacked. And as long as we get our CCs right with this, which we have assigned here, Yerpal's got the first 2. If they are that close, Banna should definitely Ursul's, but Vex, you may just want to stun at the tail end of Ring of Peace just to get that stunned, and then Ursul's binding can be more of like a safety net. So I think we should plan that out because it won't outlast this. So I think it'd be much safer if you just stun right after the Ring of Peace Vex. Just give it like 2 seconds after the ROP comes out, and then give it an old stun after your I-beam, maybe something like that. Cool. Okay, so this is like the moment right here. So a couple of things that I didn't say about what I liked about what they were doing. This is your lust point as well. So right after we do the first portals and spread, once we get set up over here, this is where we're going to be lusting for the second set of ads as well. So they just detonated over here all of those circles, and we're dragging the boss. Once people are in position, we just send lust from here. So we are lusting. This should be second pots. This should be 40 stack Spy Masters for everybody that is running one in the raid. So it's lit. We are absolutely lighting this boss on fire. And these ads should blow up as well. Pretty heavily and quickly. Now heroism's still rolling. You're dodging blades, and then the ads are getting summoned. Now shackles are also up, so this is the tough overlap because we have 3 sets of shackles, and the shackles are going to be going right over here, and then the ads are coming up. There's 4 ads that are casting a detonate, so there's tons of raid damage. We have lots of good cooldowns set up for this. Let's see, but you just want to be aware that that's happening. The most likely deaths to all of this damage will be the shackle people, because you are stacking those shackles. So anything that you can to live there. Bana, if you're listening, will bark this. I will send a GS on these people. And Maza, your AMZ is scheduled for this moment right here. I would put the AMZ actually, instead of it being on the raid, I would put it on the 3 shackle people, because they're actually, you might save a life that way. We'll have APT down for this as well, so if there is an errant person that either stood in the wrong spot or is light on cooldowns, they'll be able to stand. So we should be able to live this if we all press our stuff, but this is the biggest, if you dodge everything, this is where you're most likely going to die, right here on the platform. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Ooh, you would be here. What is it called? Is it called Iron Bark? Bark is the external one, at least. We're going to give you an exclamation point there. Basically, just send it on somebody that has shackles, Bana, that you think is squishy. It's just better to use it than not to use it, and we won't worry too much about the assignments, since the 3 people that are picked are completely random. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, so this is where you might die, right? So definitely send personals, especially if you are here. So yeah, I really like this AMZ, and they should be just stacked on this corner, like right here, right on this corner, like all 3 people stacked as it hits. The raid should be on the far side of the boss. Remember, it is pretty drastic fall off damage, so you want to be on the far side of the boss here. I don't like the way that these essences are quite set up, but you could be like maybe over here, as far away as you can get from here while being under the boss. And there will be a link here, there will be APT, there will be like all kinds of stuff going, so we should be in good shape. We should be healthy and safe, but it's a big hit. So same thing here, we'll be dragging the boss around as soon as the Acolyte shields are down. YOLO kicks, as many kicks as you can get on these and kill them is great, But the priority here for damage actually is the shackles. So as soon as shackles go down, Yerpal needs to drag the boss and stand just on the other side of shackles, so the boss is like right on top of these shackles. This is big, huge cleave value on this Acolyte, 3 shackles, and the Queen. So they should be doing that like ASAP here. I don't know that you can. You're going to have the 250% damage taken debuff if you have Gorge. Yerpal infest and you take Gorge. Yeah. Yeah, and the reason for that is because the tank that drops infest, right, is going to be right on top of the ads, and so it's like an easy leg sweep for him. He can just get the first stun and then place the thing right after, so I think him controlling the ads that way makes a lot of sense. Yes. Yeah, it's a taunt and then taunt back like very quickly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the boss is right next to him, or it should be, right? Like you shouldn't take the Gorge very far away. So it should be right in there. Like if you were watching when the team did it, it was just like it was right on the corner here, and yeah, there wasn't very much space. The Brewmaster could still melee the boss from where they were. So yeah, and then I think the movement on this platform needs to be really fast around the horn here, so I think it's probably pretty good on a Brewmaster as well. Okay, so I would keep, if I were Yerp, I would keep the boss here until shackles die. I wouldn't go until shackles are dead. The longer shackles are up, if you get dragged in, as LK found out tonight, you get stunned. And the longer that they are up, the slower you get. The whole raid gets slower. So the sooner that they die, way better for everybody, especially dodging these web blades. So now we have 7 essences down. Essences, by the way, right? This is the raid wipe mechanic. If these essences get hit by the ring while they're on the ground, then it's a wipe. Just any one of these essences gets hit, it's a wipe. It's FINALL Seeds 2.0. What you can do though is if you want to make a hero play, right, and you notice an essence way too late and you can't blink or get over the ring, you can actually pop a little personal and just run through the ring. As long as the initial like first tick of the dot of the ring, it's a pretty heavy dot, as long as it doesn't kill you right away and then you drop the essence on the ring, it's good. So if you just blitz through the ring, you can actually just suicide and save the group. It's just got to get to the other side of the ring without getting hit by the ring. It needs to be in somebody's possession. So you can save it that way. That's a good question. I think it just teleports you to a random spot. The portals are here. Something I learned about these portals, by the way, is they function very similarly to the toxic, what is it called? I forget. The circles, whatever, on P1. When you drop these, it boops you in the direction that you are facing. So if you are here facing the center off the edge, you will just get booped right off the edge. So be very careful when you're dropping these portals that you're not facing off the edge. You are facing inward when you do that. You can save yourself some headache and a wipe and a death if you learn that here right now. That's a nice little tip. When you drop these portals, it boops you in the direction that you are facing. So you want to make sure not to face off of the edge. Yep, so don't face off the edge. You want to face onto the platform somewhere. Cool. So the boss is pretty low at this point, but we still need to do these essences. So we've got to get all 7 essences across. If you are assigned to an essence and you are dead, it's worth just going over that here in a second. So here is all the essence assignments from left to right as you're looking at the center of the room, picking these essences up. If you are dead, make sure to call for a backup. Tanks and healers are not assigned to do any, and tanks can definitely do it. So I would call one of the tanks to grab one. If you're dead, just call a name, and we can get it done for you. But yeah, you guys are basically saving us from a wipe. This is like the very last hard thing. And it's not that hard, right, to get the essence over the ring, but we cannot miss a single one of them, right? So, or it's a wipe. So it's just unforgiving. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's got to be done. So you want to, possibly, yeah, we could get held there for quite some time. And the reason the reason that all of these were picked is that they can skip the ring. Taking the portal actually does some damage to you, and so does picking up the essence. The essence, when you pick it up, starts ticking on you. So all of these players can just skip the ring, so they don't have the double damage overlapping as well. No, he'll just shadow step to a friend, like either a lock or a mage or whatever that's already over on the other side. So yeah, you can either focus step, like just have a buddy that you pre-assign, or you can just watch and mouse over step to somebody that's on the other side, whatever works best for you. I think it's difficult because the ring comes in so slowly. It would be difficult for you to pick up the essence, get out there, place your altar time out here, then run in, and then as the ring's coming in super slow, then taking. I don't think it's reliable. I think you might be able to do it if you do it perfect, but yeah, it sounds awful to me. So I don't think so. Yeah, so when the ads die, so the acolytes are hanging, right? The hanging spiders on each corner. When they die, they drop their essence of themselves here, right in front of them on the platform, and they have this spike. There are 3 other ones over here in this cluster, and that's from the previous essences, the previous 3, because they stay in the fight for the rest of the fight, so they're lingering. Yes, which I have. You are, but there is a mark. So yours should be around blue, Caligon. So you can see from the. Don't focus on cardinal directions here. That would be a big folly. Just focus on the mark. Yeah. Nope. This will all be pre-placed. Yeah, all of these markers will be pre-placed. And so yeah, like I was talking about, Avalard and Buckus and War will drop theirs here, like near the middle of the platform. So there'll be a cluster of 4 here. You don't need to pick up this exact one. You just need to get one of these 4. Doesn't matter. You 4, they should be right next to each other like this, so don't be anal about it. But anyway, there is assignments. But it's more important for these ones that they know because they're so spread out. So yeah, Dirt's grabbing this one, Cav, and then Vex over here. Yeah. I think you die. It's yeah. So tanks can actually run it a second time, but it's kind of scary for them. Yes. Yeah, so I would think like getting hit by the ring on P1, it's probably something like that. Like maybe livable, but most likely you're dead. So you are here. So as the boss is going around the horn here, Dirt, because we'll always kind of go clockwise, you will be the last acolyte that we kill. So you'll follow the boss. I'm not going far enough back. So yeah, this last one up here, the reason that it's not purple here is because they didn't spawn the ads correctly. The tanks can actually control, this will be good for you to know, Maza, as well. You can actually control where these ads spawn based on where you position the boss when she casts it. So after the infest and the gorge and everything, she will cast the acolytes. You want the center of her mass to be across this line. She wants to be right here, and then it will spawn the ads in the 4 that we're planning on. If she is on this line or this side, then they'll spawn like it did for this team, and she'll spawn one over on star way back in the crap, and then it'll be like this, and there'll be nothing on diamond. So depending on whether or not she's here when she casts or here when she casts, it'll determine the configuration of the ads. You wait for the ring cast, so I think it's called gluttony or something. Here, we'll go over it right here in a second on this. So portals get placed, and so once these portals go out, as an essence person, I'm picking up very soon because the ring's going to be casting very soon. So you're like watching, you should be close to your essence, frothing gluttony. Once this cast finishes, the ring is up and you pick up. So you should be picking up now. And then you can make it through. So yeah, this guy just stepped to his friend there, Dirt. So we will, most likely with our damage, we will end up playing the next infest, but just know that it's rinse repeat from here again. All we do is just bait the swirlies and deal with the little ads. The boss will be very low, but you still, because the ads are an insta wipe, it's worth just swapping off and kill him, because it's just not worth risking it and like kiting. So just kill him and then kill boss. So that's probably also about where we'll kill it. Our damage is fairly similar to this team's. They had 3 or 4 people dead at the end there, but we do need to make it through that ring. So looking at it another way here, we can just look at the overview. So this is the way that it's set up. They had the boss in just like a little bit more here, and I liked that a little bit closer. And Mazda tank would just be barely out, but still, this is the same thing. Baiting swirlies, CCing, killing hatchlings. When the hatchlings die, they leave these puddles, and then we get the acolytes summoned, and then we'll just drag around here, picking up those. On these acolytes, there are no shackles, so there's not nearly as much danger here as the shackles that we need to kill that I was talking about, the tough overlap. Portal placement, this is the way it is. The reason being is there's just a bunch of crap here, so we want to actually put the portal where we're going a bit further ahead so that we have some space to work with. Buckus, War, and Abelard are picking up these respective essences. So this is where watch your weak aura. Just take the portal when it says on the countdown. And then once you take the portal, you will have that circle around you. So we need to spread out. So here are our assignments relative to the boss. Tanks, the boss is casting in the middle. So you'll just want to, once you take the portal, you will want to move ahead to the next pillar up here. And the boss will just teleport to you once it's done casting. But these are the spots. So you'll want to imprint this into your mind. If you don't see your name here, it's because you are a skipper and you're going to be in the skip zone. You're just going to be ahead of where we are is where you should go. So you should skip, even if you don't have the essence, right? You should skip this first one, and we are going to time spiral the next ring. So even if you're using a long cooldown skip or whatever, it will be back up, even if you accidentally use it or whatever during the phase. So we have a high value time spiral for the next ring. But anyway, these are the assigned spots. So just etch this into your memory of like where you're going. So we'll portal from here to here. So you'll come out here, and so then you'll just want to go to your spot. So if I'm LK, I'll go here. If Banna, I will sprint down the rim. If I'm Vaskin, I will go just beyond LK. And once I make it just beyond LK, I'm good to go. War's under the boss, Jan's behind the boss, right? So like this is where you would generally position. So just be aware of where you are in relation to the portal and also in relation to the players around you. Blast, this may be out of date. He might Warnstone this and skip the ring. But he does have a spot as is for now. But I wanted healers to have some priority position, except for Banna, because she can kind of heal on the move and get here extremely fast. But I kind of want the healers to get out and be able to plant. So that's kind of the idea around here. And then the wheelchair also plants over here. Cool. So then we rinse repeat, right? But this is the one where we lust. Once we're all set, this is the drop, right? Just outside of blue. For them, we lust, and the boss, if the boss is just past, remember this imaginary line from circle to this thing, it will summon the ads in the correct position. If the boss is over here, we'll get an extra ad over here. So want to make sure that the boss gets just past this line for the acolyte summons. Shackles go here, which is signified by these white circles. So I really want you guys to stack those shackles, which feels super counterintuitive. It looks like a bomb and you don't want to stack with other bombs, and that's fair enough, but it is what we want to do in order to cleave them down. It's more important that you stack them, and if you die from the stack damage, that's okay, because we'll actually have efficient cleave. But if you cowered out and you rat out and you put it somewhere out here, more people could die. So definitely send your personals if you're dropping it here. Mazza will help you with an AMZ, and we'll have APT down as well, and I'll send a GS. So hopefully, worst case scenario, maybe one person of these dies, but a lot of these pulls, you see groups where all three of them live. But yep, place these shackles as the ads are coming up. Raid, you are on the far side of blue. So far side of the boss, away from the shackles to get as minimal amount of damage on you. And Muck will have a link on us as well. So APT link is rolling. And we have a bunch of healing cooldowns rolling as well to top us up. So we should be relatively safe. As long as you are topped when the shackles hit, after the shackles hit, we should be okay. Cool. So that's really all there is to that. Then the boss goes around the horn here. So drag him again. YOLOing kicks, ranged, help finish off the ads that aren't near the boss. If there are ones that are kind of straggling, we want to just make sure all the ads die. Whereas melee is going to be cleaving off of the close one on the boss. Here are the pickups for that. I don't have a graphic for where you are assigned to go for this portal, but it's the exact same relatives. So like LK, Vaskin, Banna, me, Muck, Swabbles, Jan, War, all of that. It's just rotate it around, turn it like 90 degrees or whatever, and do it here. That's all that is. So when we take the portals, we will do it there, and then we'll drag the boss and we'll do the last thing and kill the boss right there. And that's all there is to that. It's as long as you're dodging orbs and web blades and you're listening to calls and you kind of understand your assignment and where we're going and how this works, this phase is not very difficult, really. It's definitely killable, basically any pull we get here. So that's super exciting as long as people know what they're up to. So I'm hoping that we'll get some extreme value out of doing PTRU on this and can this boss within the next week or so. Put a close on our tier that is going very well so far. I was thinking about it all the other night, and our first tier in Shadowlands, if we were performing at the same level, we would be just coming out, like if we were performing that way now, we would have just killed Kaiveza, maybe, like right now. So I'm really excited about the growth of the team. I think we're doing really well, and I think we can finish this tier off very well. So let's just do it. Let's make sure that we know what we're up to. Does anybody have any questions about this final phase or anything throughout the fight that they're unsure about or look for input on? Yeah. Pretty much just boss. You should just be laser focused into boss. We have enough incidental cleavers that can take care of shackles for us, that yeah, you shouldn't need to do anything like that. The acolytes or the infest little ones. Yeah, those ones. I mean, I would say, you know, have your head up and look at it. In general, you should still be able to just tunnel the boss swabs, but you know, if there's a low acolyte that's off by itself, like let's say this one here, like right next to you, your raid is here, and then the boss gets dragged around. You're basically going to plant on this end as ranged, because the portal is going to go here to here. So you're already near the portal, so you're not going to be moving much. But if you notice that this acolyte, while the boss is moving around and way over here, is still up, like definitely kill it, right? Just get it over with. So just use your head, whatever you think we need. But as long as we're doing this properly, you should be able to tunnel the boss for the most part. Good question. No, you will drop it on a timer. There's like 15 seconds you have from when you pick it up to when you will just drop it automatically. So after you pick up and jump over, you want to try to, so all of the circles will explode here from the portal people. So the plebs that have to take the portal vex, you want to try to drop your essence, and I'm glad you asked this because I didn't go over it, all of these essence people behind Skull, because the play space, the boss is going to go over here, and we're going to be playing here and here. You'll notice like in their kill, like it's all over the place, right? They dropped essences, like these are all like, it's a minefield over here, because they weren't mindful of this. But ideally, and so they dropped up by diamond where they're playing. Ideally, you want to drop them behind Skull. This set, at least. The first set, right, is on blue, but the next ones want to be like Skull or back behind Skull if you're one of those mobile type people. No, we will not. If we do, we're wipe into it. I'm not assigning, what would that be, 16 players to have the raid to pick up essences. Yeah, that would be chaos, man. It'll be way dead by then, like, because this group killed it with 4 people dead right after this infest, and they had like another a minute, like they had another minute at 3% until the ring. It's not even close, man. We'll definitely get it before then. Good question. So yeah, you'll jump the ring, and then you'll go here. You'll be just past Skull, but if you can drop the essence back here, the tendency will be, because the boss will be here, and then it'll explode, and then the tanks will drag the boss over to this corner for infest. The tendency for you will be to want to follow the boss and drop your essence on the boss. But if you can hang back and drop it here for 2 seconds and then come join us on the boss, it would actually make it quite a bit cleaner and just easier. But as you can see, they 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 did it, and most first kills are like that, and it's playable, but it's it's a little scary. I believe this rogue actually walks like right through these two essences, right in the middle here. It's like it's so sketchy. Look at this. So yeah, it's better if we don't do that. Cool. Great questions from everybody. Appreciate that. That's going to help us out when we get there, which will be Sunday, right? Definitely. Some other things I learned. By the way, Avelard and Jan, if you're listening, for the shackles, Freedom actually works on this slow. So like towards the tail end of shackles, if you want to place it on yourself or somebody you think that's slow, that's actually pretty helpful, especially for the web blade dodging. So maybe on like LK or somebody or something like that would be really helpful. Maybe Avelard can get LK and Jan can either get himself or somebody else with Freedom. That's helpful. Also, did you guys know that Ansurekkk cannot go taunt immune? She's not able to go taunt immune. She's not taunt immunable as a boss. I think that's interesting. Yeah, just do it. No harm done. Oh, I wonder if that works. I know Freedom does, but I don't know if I'm... Hell yeah. So it'll just be when the shackles are up, swabs. So if you want to send one on even on yourself is totally fine too. It's just good to know that it works. Disengage, a little sketchy to use when web blades are out, my friend. But you do you. Good luck. Oh, damn. You got all kinds of tools. All right, I'm going to end the stream. I think you guys are good to go with that.